All right, everybody, thank you for joining us. Today we have Carl Doninger from PopCon, which is a pop culture convention here in Indianapolis. I absolutely love. I've been going there for the last few years, and so I thought Carl could come on this channel today to talk a little bit about what it is and why we should get excited about it, which is going to be happening in the last weekend of June. So welcome, Carl. How you doing?
Fantastic. Thanks for having me.
I'm glad to hear that. So tell us a little bit about what PopCon is, and maybe kind of tell us a little bit about the origins, like how it started and where it's at now too.
Yeah, sure. So, the easiest description that I've come up with over the last several years is picture a comic book convention in your head, but now picture you yourself having fun at that event, and that is what PopCon is.
Right.
It really is true pop culture across the board. And we have the tabletop gaming, we have the video gaming, we have the laser tag and the esports, we have battle bots this year, we have fashion shows, cosplay contests, world-class magicians, hundreds of panels, over 60 celebrities, I think, this year. It's something ridiculous.
Wow.
Hundreds of vendors. So there's just, you can't walk 10 feet without something new to see or do. And that's really the driving force. We have an entire international film festival. We have live podcasts, podcast awards, and I'm still missing things. With dance competition. I mean, I just keep going, and that's just all from the top of my head. And
Oh yeah.
we're juggling a lot this year. I think this is the first year where we're going to have over 1,000 events at PopCon for over 3 days.
I do not doubt that at all because when I first started going to PopCon, I think it was like 4 years ago. I was impressed with what you all had, and then it seems like every year when I talk to you all, you keep adding more different kinds of events. And so I got to share this because this is just kind of a personal story. But PopCon is where we actually came across the organization WCW Wrestling, which my kid absolutely loves now. They even know who some of these wrestlers are and kind of treats them as celebrities. Like he has favorites of those. And so I absolutely love that you can go to PopCon and there's like some sort of genre or, pop culture, community, something like that. Like, it's literally like there's something for everybody because of the wide range of events in, I guess for lack of a better word, like genre that shows up in the convention. One of the things I really love this year that is, I think it's brand new, but tell me if I'm wrong, is the Battle Bots event that you guys have going on this year. Is that new?
It is. So we're calling it Circle City Clash. I call it Battle Bots because, again, that's the way people will be able to picture it. But that's a trademark. That's not us. It's not actually Battle Bots. So Battle Bots, but
Right.
But it's descriptive. And it's a real competition. So there are individuals and teams coming from all over the country.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the first times that it's usually an East Coast or a West Coast thing. So it's really something unique for the Midwest to even have this.
Right.
Is making it kind of even more special. And yeah, it sure is drawing a lot of attention. I think that area is going to be pretty busy over the course of the weekend. So yeah,
Oh yeah.
they're 3D printed, so it's not what you have typically seen on TV.
Okay.
But the competition is the same. So they're 3D printing these and throwing in all the motors and the gears and the whatnots, but they're still beating the absolute snot out of each other. And they have to be behind plexiglass, and they promised that there's only going to be at least a couple fires over the weekend. So it's the real deal, and they're real competitors, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I know my kid's going to be all about it because they're in their school's robotics club as well too. So I think they're going to be like really interested to watch that. But when they're smashing and attacking each other, I mean, who doesn't love that, right?
Yeah, and they're so light. I think the heaviest class is 3 pounds.
Yeah.
And I had them show me one, and it's way bigger than you would think because, again, it's 3D printed. It's not solid metal like the ones on TV.
Right.
They're much larger than you would think for 3 pounds. Yeah.
Well, one of the things that I also think is really impressive, because you were talking about how people are going to be coming from like all over the country for this event. The PopCon in general, a lot of people come from all across the country, even like internationally, and you all got so popular and big that I think last year or 2 years ago you started a second one in Louisville, Kentucky.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we have been in Fort Wayne and Louisville in addition to Indianapolis. Fort Wayne back in 2018, and then Louisville over the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
We we're doing it's only Indy now again, so we're only in Indianapolis. It's just the right fit for our event right now. And like you said, we are an international convention, and we're the only PopCon in the country. So
Right.
whereas we're lucky enough to be local here in Indianapolis, and it's really designed for Indianapolis. It's an international convention. I
Mm-hmm.
think we have people coming in from, I think, over a dozen countries.
Right.
Uh, and then almost every state. I have not looked lately. A couple months ago, we had almost every state represented, and we're not talking thousands of people coming from California,
Right. Right.
but in the attendance numbers, you see people from all states. It's really cool.
Yeah. Oh man, that's amazing. Yeah. Well, and for PopCon, one of the things I absolutely love about you all as a organization and everything is that a lot of the conventions that we go to are usually run by some sort of like third party organization where, yeah, the convention is in this city, but it's run out of like a different state. But that's what I love about you all is that this is all local to Indianapolis. So you're all, from Indiana. It just has a different feel in terms of the convention and even access to you all, because I feel like if I try to talk to people at other conventions and try to do something like this, it's a little bit tougher to be able to accomplish that. And you all are a lot more accessible because this is, a homegrown convention and you make it local and, it just has that different kind of, I think, approach and atmosphere because of that too.
Yeah, we really drive home the family feel, and that doesn't mean blood family. The people come together once a year at PopCon with their chosen family, whatever that is, whether they've met at PopCon or they're from different states and they choose to meet at PopCon. It really has become a geek family reunion every year, and going into our 12th year, it's just growing. There are kids now that are probably 12 that this is their 12th event because they were pushed in a stroller their first year,
Yeah.
and this is their con. They just come to PopCon now, and it's surreal because I can't believe I've been doing it that long. But yeah, the camaraderie, and you even if you come solo, you're not going to be alone, and that's
Mhm.
that's the coolest thing about PopCon. I think is you may come in like the biggest Star Trek fan, but you're walking out having played a board game, and now you want to teach that board game to your friends, or
Mhm.
you now you want to learn 3D printing because you saw the Circle City Clash, or we have medieval armor combat, or we have
Yeah.
escape rooms this year, and you're like, okay, I really need to get my friends to do this after PopCon. We're going to get together and do an escape room. It really just constantly in your face of all these cool things that you might not currently have in your life that you should have in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
it's amazing.
Oh yeah, exactly. Well, and that's again that one of the things I love about PopCon is that you get exposure to different kinds of genres and fan bases that you probably wouldn't get exposed to before. Now, like things like Comic Con, there's a lot of overlaps with comics and anime and manga stuff like that you see in entertainment in general. But with PopCon being such a wide variety of different kind of genres, I think that's one of the things that makes it just so awesome is that I don't know where else I would be able to just kind of have that sort of experience and interaction. For example, wrestling, like I just never really got into wrestling, but because they, had that there, now my kid is a huge fan and we, make it a point to, go there because they're local as well too, to go there regularly. So, but speaking of games, because this is a channel about role playing games and games in general. Specifically, what does PopCon offering this year that's related to games? I know it's not entirely new, but I know there's been some things that had come on the scene the last few years that I think has really make it a lot more, I think, accessible and fun in that regard as well too, because there's a couple organizations that's really involved in running that part of PopCon for the gaming part of it. But yeah, tell us a little bit more about what's the
Yeah.
gaming aspect there.
When there's so much now that I actually had to pull up a cheat sheet on the other monitor. So the low hanging fruit, we have over the years collected our own board game library, which we use to demo games.
Mm-hmm.
So that just people can get, there's always in our area of the board gaming room, which is also with Circle City Clash that coexists. So
Right.
go from board game to bots like real quick. But we have our own demo area so that people can get a flavor of just different kind of games. So people that are not gamers, it's really good for them to just sit down and try a game and be taught a game, or because not everybody knows how to draft cards or move, roll dice and move men in a map. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just it's foreign to a lot of people. You and I play games all the time.
Right.
So we wanted an area that teaches people just tabletop gaming in general, the high level stuff, exposed to simple games. Well, not all of them. I think we have side out there sometimes, but
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, so there's that. And then we always partner with Hoosier Gamers, which is another local nonprofit group that is, their whole goal is tabletop gaming in the Indianapolis area, central Indiana.
Right.
Yeah, well, actually, it might even be all of Indiana. I don't want to misspeak for them, so I'll give them the whole state right now. But so they bring a good chunk of their much bigger board game library, and you can check out a game and play it, and that's there all weekend. So those two things are just kind of always right there the whole time.
Right.
And this is why I needed my cheat sheet. So and then in a separate room across from the same gaming hall, which I PopCon is the second biggest tabletop gaming convention in the state every year.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
it's only second to Gen Con. And we have 35,000 square feet of tabletop gaming, give or take.
Right.
Like it's not insignificant.
Yeah.
It's we're trying hard to push it on. So because the history we didn't talk about is I wanted to start a tabletop gaming convention, and that's what I wanted to do.
Cool.
Turned into PopCon when we smashed it up with people that wanted to start a Comic-Con.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I came up with PopCon as a brand and all that. But that's the quick version of that story. So then, but we've got miniatures. So I think we've got Warhammer coming in, which you'll be able to watch and even learn.
Mm-hmm.
We have the separate room for Elite Encounters, which is role playing all weekend, but they stream it and record it, and it's just really cool setup that they've gotten. We gave them their own room this year, so you'll be able to just walk in and see what they do and even possibly participate. They've got programming all weekend.
Oh, cool.
All day Saturday. Speaking of role playing, we do a good friends of mine run a never ending dungeon for about 8 hours on Saturday.
Yeah.
And it's all for charity. So you can go in and you can actually spend a little bit of money to throw a monster at the group, or throw out a healing potion, or do anything. And you can even pay to the charity again, to even become part of the party itself. So you can go right out, also start playing. It's one of the coolest concepts. And we've had it for several years, but it's always the redheaded stepchild, and I'm making it much more the forefront this year. And we've given it its own room. They're actually going to be in our after party dance club room during the day on Saturday. So
cool.
Yeah, it's going to be a cool atmosphere for sure. It's a never ending dungeon. So if you're not familiar with Dungeons and Dragons or Pathfinder or any of those those systems, it's a great way to just go watch it done right and fun and just silly, just because role playing is really on an upswing again. I think it's much more pop culture than it was before COVID. COVID exploded the tabletop gaming industry again.
Oh, yeah.
I loved it. Like at home all the time, but it really did go out of its way.
Yep.
We've got tavern brawls with tabletop role playing games. I put all this on here. Wow. Yeah, I don't even know. So we got, I wish I could, and it's all on our schedule. So I'll take it easy because I'm just going to be spinning my wheels over here. But it is all on our schedule, and the gaming hall is huge. So there are different groups that are running their own tournaments and such throughout the weekend, throughout that same room. And the schedule will be fully online, and it should be easy to find.
Awesome. Yeah. And you have like all different kinds of games. So like board games, role playing games, which I absolutely love. And you're right, like it's been on an upswing for a number of reasons. Stranger Things, Baldur's Gate 3, Critical Role. There's been a lot. Oh yeah. Influences on tabletop role playing games that's just kind of been bringing it back into popularity. But also trading card games. I know y'all have people there in the past as well too. That's kind of like run like different events and learn plays as well too. So this is definitely a great convention if you just want to get exposure to different kinds of games out there. This is great. So Carl, thank you very much for sharing a little bit about what PopCon is and all the great exciting things they have. I didn't say the specific dates for PopCon, but if you want to tell us when PopCon's taking place and how people can participate or get a badge and attend and all that, and I'll make sure to put a link in the description for the YouTube video as well too. But yeah, if you could share that with us, that'd be great.
Yeah, as we're recording this, it's next week. So it's
Right.
June 27th through the 29th. And it's a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You can get tickets at popconindy.com, popconindy.com. The ticket buttons are everywhere because we want to make it easy for people. And that'll just go to it'll take you off our site onto our ticketing platform, and it's super easy from there.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, thanks again, Carl. I appreciate you coming on the show. You've always been a great guest for us. Like I've been, having you on our YouTube channel and interviewing you for like the last 3 or 4 years. And honestly, this is one of my favorite conventions, probably top 2 or 3 conventions that I love attending for so many reasons. And I can't say enough. So this is definitely one of the conventions that I always tell people, if you want to check something out, PopCon is a must do. So
Really appreciate that. Yeah, like I said, it's an international convention, but we have designed it for Indianapolis, and we just want people to just come out in droves, walk up, buy online, walk up, buy. It doesn't matter. We'll take you. We'll find a place for it.
awesome. Well, thanks again, Carl. Appreciate it.